evil men have to be treated with anger. That kind of anger is a sign of love of Hashem. All those people who don't get excited when they see a wickedness, for instance, when they're digging in their graves, archaeologists and analysts are digging in their graves. After all, the graves are graves of old generations of medieval tzaddikim. And the archaeologists are out for money. They're all atheists, and it doesn't mean a thing to them, but they get a certain grants from organizations from America, so they're digging. And the Frum Jews come out, and they try to prevent them. Now, the Frum Jews are beaten by the police. The police are terribly cruel, because the police are motivated by the public. And the public analysis soil, you have to know, is motivated by the press. And the press analysis soil is the most anti-Semitic press in the world. The Hebrew press analysis soil hates Orthodox Jews more than any kind of sector of the press in the world. And therefore the police, now in Tel Aviv there was a rock and roll gathering, and there was a riot. Some policemen were even killed. Nothing was done. Nobody was apprehended, and the newspapers didn't come out with any protests against that. Rock and roll, that's from America. Anything from America is good. Any wildness, even narcotics, imported to America. Everything from America is admired. Any wild thing. But when these Frum Jews, the neturei, karta, and people like them, took up for the glory of Hashem, and they came to protest, and the archaeologists ignored them and continued exhuming bodies, taking out bones. And so, some of the Frum Jews became moved, and they began throwing stones. And the policemen moved in with their truncheons and sent the Jews to the hospital. They smashed heads. They broke arms and legs with the greatest cruelty. And after that, they went around all over Yerushalayim. Whenever they saw on the street somebody looked like a Frum Jew, they grabbed him and dragged him to the street and to the police car and took him to jail. Now we have to know that these people are examples that we have to look up to. We love Hashem by being angry in His service. All those smart people who mind their own business, when they see that a Rosh who is in City Hall is trying to push gay rights upon the public, and nobody cares. The modern rabbis don't say a word, refuse to open their mouths about it. They're minding their own business. Orthodox organizations make deals with the chaim in City Hall because they support their programs. Nobody cares. Only a few people are willing to risk everything to go out and fight for the truth. They are the ones who love Hashem. That's what we're learning now. Kino, when Pinchas, when he saw Zimri was taking a Gentile woman into the camp and heading towards his tent, and nobody did anything. It was a remarkable thing. Everybody was smitten with a paralysis. Zimri, an important man, and such a demonstration, taking a Gentile woman to his tent. He didn't know what to make of it. But Pinchas didn't wait. So Pinchas took a spear and he hastened into the tent after them, and he did what he had to do. He slew them. Now Pinchas, you have to know, was very much blamed by people. They said, who are you, an upstart? Zimri's an important man. If he has to be judged, there's law and order. Other people should judge him, not you. What are you taking, law in your own hands? You're a criminal. You're a Megane. The Shvatim are Meganes, Pinchas. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu said otherwise. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Hinei noisen lo b'rishi shalom, I'm giving him my covenant of friendship. He is my friend. It's only because he took up for me that I refrained from sending a plague to destroy you. If nobody takes up for the glory of Hashem, Hashem himself steps in and takes up for his glory. It's only the karnoim, the neturei karta Jews, and all frum Jews who fight for the glory of Hashem. They're the ones who protect us from the Mageifa. And the Mesilas Yesharim says, in order for a person to have real love of Hashem, he has to hate the wicked. Now, I know it's unpopular in America, because America is under the spell of the liberals, and the liberals are under the spell of Christianity. And the Christians say, don't hate anybody, we love everybody. Of course, we understand what that means. While they were loving us in the Middle Ages, they loved us to death. They loved us in Poland, they loved us in Spain, they loved us greatly. But we don't say that. We don't say we love everybody. And the truth is, we love more than anybody else in the world loves. The Jew is not such a cheap lover. He doesn't throw around love for nothing. The Jew said, we hate a lot of people. Those who deserve should be hated. Halo misanecho Hashem es Hashem. Those who hate you, I hate. Uviskoimemecho es kot, and I quarrel with those who rise up against you. Tachlis sinos nesim. I hate them with the extreme of hatred. Oyave Hashem. If you love Hashem, sinuro, hate evil. You cannot be wishy-washy. You're modern Orthodox. Oh yes, gays also. Have compassion on the gays. Let them go around teaching in the public schools too, and taking the children and making all of them into homosexuals. That's what they want. What do the Orthodox Jews say? I'm talking about a real one. Nothing doing. We demonstrate against it. We'll fight against it. We'll mobilize public opinion against it. Because the love of Hashem won't let you sit still and see the ideals of Hashem trampled underfoot. I remember once there was an Orthodox organization. I'll spare them the shame of mentioning their name. They had a monthly newspaper, an Orthodox organization. So they had a guest writer, Ben Gurion, who wrote an article. And Ben Gurion wrote an article, 600 Jews went out of Egypt. That's the title of the article. He says he studied the Bible, only 600 Jews went out of Egypt. And that's the whole article. The first article, an Orthodox organization. If you ask me privately, I'll tell you who it is. Orthodox organization will print an article like that. So I called up. I made a fuss. This one said, that's so. He didn't know about it. This one said, some underling must have done it. He didn't know anything about it. Everybody passing the book. One man praised me, so I'm glad to see such kanoes, such zeal, he told me. He's called that zeal. But if you see somebody who protests against plain apikorus, it's zeal. What happened next month? Next month, not a word was mentioned. Not a word of apology, nothing. The answer is the Orthodox organizations are dead from the neck up. There's nothing in their heads. There's nothing in their hearts. It's nothing but bluff. The orthodoxy is a very thin veneer. Give a scratch, and underneath you see it's nothing but goy gomor. If a man can't get excited against people who speak open apikorus against the Torah, then he is not worth being called Orthodox at all. He has no connection with us at all. And therefore, Mesilas Yesharim said, Eliyahu. Eliyahu Hanavi. It's a remarkable phenomenon. He didn't die. A man shouldn't die? How did that happen? Eliyahu didn't die. Vayal Eliyahu b'sor ha'shemayim. Eliyahu went up in a storm wind to heaven. Open pasuk. Now about Chanoich, it doesn't say he didn't die. It's a mystery. About Chanoich in Bereshis. I cannot tell you what happened. They're medrashim. But about Eliyahu, that's the only one where it states openly in Tanakh he didn't die. The only personality that didn't die. Said openly.